Holy Snyder Cut, Batman. We finally have a release date for the movie, and of course, it absolutely fundamentally screws over international audiences, leading to rampant amounts of mass piracy. All of that and more, and probably Cloverfield 2 here on the program. Ooh, boy, what a day it has been. What a day it has been. Hi, everyone. Welcome to a mid-afternoon stream here, at least in the United States. Today, of course, is the 29th of January, 2021. And, we got the answer many people have been waiting since May 20th of last year to get. And that, of course, is the release date of the Snyder Cut, when the 4-hour orgasming experience is going to spurt its way into your eyeballs. We know it's coming. Many of us are going to be doing the same thing when it finally comes out, but I have to complain. I have to. This is just fundamentally what I'm built for, I think, as I near 40 years old, to become an old complainer. But I think it's for a good cause, because I feel really bad for a lot of Snyder Cut fans out there, because they're getting the shaft, and I can't figure out why. That is, unless it goes into a deeper, more fundamental problem with the broken Warner Brothers / Warner Media system and their fight over Snyder and the Snyder Cut and Ray Fisher and the investigation into the 2017 reshoot of Justice League. There's a lot there, folks. There is a lot there that's going on. Let's take a quick look here at just the news of the day, of what was shown to us today. So Zack Snyder dropped the bombshell this morning, 5:56 a.m., early bird catches the worm. I was still passed out because, it's 6. And he says, reborn, #Snyder Cut, streaming March 18th, 21, #us united. And a lot of people, as we can see here, are freaking out. 11,000 retweets, nearly 12,000, 2,700 quote tweets, and 39,000 likes. And you can even see that the Snyder Cut is trending with 110,000 tweets right there on the side. People are excited. They are ecstatic. They are getting ready to just burst with anticipation. So let's find out more about what this is. So not only did we get the announcement, we got these 3 very, very, very cool looking posters that I had to cram into a single image in order to be able to showcase them all. But it gives us a nice idea about what to expect, at least from the nightmare sequence, which is one of the things I think a lot of people want to see more of. I feel like that's been a big high priority of the marketing, of the pre-marketing of the movie, was to showcase the downfall of the League, the rise of Darkseid, and leading in to everything we know Zack wants to do down the road. But what's great, what I love about this the most is, of course, the Easter egg with the 2 film canisters with Justice League and Zack Snyder's name on it. Some people have said it was written in blood. Do you see? The Snyder is red. It's written in blood. I don't know about you, but I've attempted to write in blood before. I went through a weird Wiccan phase when I was a teen. I'm kidding, but not. No, but it's hard to write in blood, so it's just him signing his name and it being the only thing in color. It's a Schindler's List reference, if any. It's the little girl in the red dress. No, I'm kidding. It's not that at all. But, Anyway, it looks pretty cool here, and I definitely want to see what comes from this particular part in the film, because given how much they've been hyping this bit up, I'm really curious if it's going to be a significant portion of the movie, some kind of flash forward sort of thing, some kind of just another nightmare sequence or whatever, because this feels like the second part of a trilogy where the world has been destroyed. That's what it feels like to me. So it's kind of like, I'm a little bit curious. I'm a little bit peculiar about what to expect on this one here. But anyway, Heroic Hollywood was able to drop the new synopsis for what this movie is. They released a press release with a synopsis. And you know what? It's a little bit weird. I'm not going to lie. A little bit, not a huge fan of it, but this is what it says. In Zack Snyder's Justice League, determined to ensure Superman's ultimate sacrifice was not in vain, Bruce Wayne aligns forces with Diana Prince with plans to recruit a team of metahumans to protect the world from an approaching threat of catastrophic proportions. The task proves more difficult than Bruce imagined, as each of the recruits must face the demons of their own pasts to transcend what was held back, or which has held them back, allowing them to come together, finally forming an unprecedented League of Heroes. Now united, Batman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Cyborg, and The Flash may be too late to save the planet from Steppenwolf, Desaad, and Darkseid and their dreadful intentions. Which sounds cool. I mean, I think it's kind of a poorly written synopsis. Like, I feel like it's first year PR stuff, right? But all right, cool. Like, that's a very vague synopsis. It's all, we don't want Superman's death to be in vain. So Bruce is out there recruiting metahumans and they all got to face demons from their past. Like, is it chapter 1? Right? Like, that's what it feels like to me, how we had in It Chapter 1, another Warner Brothers film, how we had all of the sequences where the kids all were tormented by Pennywise. Are all of the heroes here going to have to deal with something that is like put forward by Steppenwolf, Desaad, and Darkseid? Are they the same movie? I don't know. We'll have to wait to find out. I doubt it. But that's the synopsis. Okay, cool, fine. All right, I'm not against it. I want to watch it. I just thought it was a little bit light, like there's nothing, I don't know. I just kind of feel like it's a bit lackluster in the way that it was written, but that's me. I'm a performer. I'm an entertainer. I want it spruced up a little bit. I want it a little bit sexy. Nothing about this was sexy. Anyway, now Deadline here has an article talking about it as well, but they bring up an interesting point, and this is when I want to get to the subject of international viewers being screwed. Because look, what you have to realize is that the release the Snyder Cut hashtag was not meant to be, or it wasn't a singular US based thing. It was a worldwide thing. It was a worldwide gathering of fans who decided that they wanted to come together to ask for this movie, and they're getting it. If you go back to May 20th, when they had that Zoom call, it was an international group of people that were there for the announcement. There's a lot of international love. So why the fuck isn't HBO Max available in other, in other territories? So this is what it says. This is part of the press release today. Warner Media also announced the foreign launches for Zack Snyder's Justice League timed with the Pix premiere on HBO Max in the US. The DC movie will be available exclusively on HBO services in Europe, across the Nordics, Central Europe, Spain, and Portugal, as well as the HBO Go service in Asia. In Latin America, the title will premiere exclusively in HBO Max when the service launches in the region later this year. Okay, so cool. Europe, Asia, they're going to get their hands on it, but that's not the rest of the world. All right, like I know for a fact there's one of the members of the Snyder Cut movement, a woman named Rasha Taylor, lives in New Zealand. They're not going to get it when it comes out in March. And she's an active, ardent supporter, a very vocal and I guess active in the whole movement, in the fandom. But she's going to get screwed. She's going to get screwed. People in Latin America, Central America, South America, Brazil has a massive DC audience. The CCC XP that they do there in December, that is a big deal for DC and their Brazilian fans. It's massive there. And they're not going to get it on day one. I'm sorry. I'm a little bit ticked off at this. I think that it's slapping a lot of people in the face. And I can't, like I said, for the life of me, figure out why. Look, I know people out there are going to be like, but they're going to get it eventually. Man, fuck that shit. If we've waited this long, wait till everyone can get it at once. Like, I don't feel like I'm a dick in wanting that for you. If you live in an international market where you're not going to be able to get your hands on this property legally. And there's already people that I have seen on social media coming out and going like, I'm just going to pirate the goddamn thing. I'm just going to pirate it. I'm just getting, screw it. I'm going to get HBO Max later on, but I'm going to pirate it for right now. And that's what they're going to do. That's what's going to happen. Now I understand. Look, I think the reason why they're doing it, if I'm going to go into my tinfoil hat speculatory area, it has a lot to do, I think. Oh yeah. Hey, Rasha, what's going on, girl? How you doing? I'm just saying, obviously Wonder Woman is a factor here. Obviously Wonder Woman is the numbers coming off of that one, right? Today you had that article popping up where they said like 35% more people watched Wonder Woman oversold on Christmas Day. I mean, granted, the movies were like exceptionally different in regards to like length. I don't know. I've seen that argument pop up from people that are trying to like figure out the metrics here because, you know, Nielsen ratings, but like, fuck them. You could never trust Nielsen ratings on anything. But it is true. Wonder Woman 84 did do a good job. And it did bring a lot of new subscribers into HBO Max, at least domestically. So that's what they're looking at here. Okay, cool. Again, I asked the question, why not wait for the international rollout? It can't simply be because of Wonder Woman. That is, unless they are planning on putting Wonder Woman back on HBO Max right around that same time. Because with it now being off HBO Max, people don't have access to it. They might be looking to cancel their subscription. So it's possible that they're going to bring back Wonder Woman 84 at the same time as Justice League as a way to kind of double whammy it. That's a possibility. But I still don't understand everything about this. Now, it could be, and this is what I've been kind of arguing a little bit. It was either going to be March or it was going to be May, is what I was saying. And the reason why I was saying it was going to be May is because, well, they moved Godzilla v. Kong. So that was kind of a big indicator. But ultimately, we're talking end of quarter. We're talking end of quarter. They want that big push. They want that massive swell of new subscribers in order to take their shareholders and go, see, we've done a good job. We're working on it. And so having it be in May or March, end of the quarter. April traditionally is shit for people buying anything, at least domestically, because of tax season. But having it be May or March makes sense. But now it's a week before Godzilla v. Kong. So you're dropping two powerhouse films within a week of each other on a streaming service without spreading them out. What the fuck? Is that not just kind of awkward and odd to anybody else? Netflix doesn't even pump and dump this much content that quickly. What I mean is like high profile stuff. They pump and dump constantly, but high profile content, they will spread it out a little bit. So now you're talking mid-March, a week later, Godzilla v. Kong. I think that the numbers that they were getting from these subscribers that they're touting aren't as big as they want. Because remember, there's another factor that goes into this whole thing. There's another factor that goes into everything. And that is, while we might be looking at 17 million HBO Max subscribers, 37 million are eligible to upgrade to go to HBO Max, and they're not doing it. And this would potentially be a big boost for that. You've got Justice League, and then you've got Godzilla v. Kong, and they're only on HBO Max. They're not on HBO. And that could be a domestic push in order to get more people to make that jump finally. Because keep in mind that in March, that's 10 months since the release of HBO Max. And while they are ahead of schedule right now because of Wonder Woman, that wasn't the initial plan because they weren't expecting the pandemic. They weren't expecting it to last this long. So now everything is up in the air. Everything is up in the air. So my thoughts on it are they are pump and dumping these two properties that are closely related in regards to nerddom. Two massive science fiction fanboy content, long legacy content that they're going to be able to use as a way to push for subscribers. And in the process of that, they're fucking over their international fans. Because here's the thing, Godzilla v. Kong, if you're international and your theaters are open, like let's say Australia, and I think probably New Zealand, they can go see movies. They can go see it. The 4-hour cut of Justice League is not going to be available. So those fans are going to be screwed. And I know it's available on Google in some areas, but that's now been taken down. So I don't know if that's going to get brought back up. That could help alleviate some of that. But having it be on HBO Go in Asia makes a lot of sense due to the piracy levels that come out of those countries. But another country where you see a lot of piracy is coming out of Africa. I mean, and granted, the world over. Now, this is the thing too, and this is why I think it's also fascinating. And I mentioned this on Twitter earlier. I'm really going to be fascinated by the numbers that come out of the piracy of Zack Snyder's Justice League. Because it's going to be insane. with all the people outside of those countries previously announced that are not going to be able to watch this movie, they're going to dive into the piracy because you know what? They've waited this long. Everyone else gets to see it. Fuck it. It's their turn. And I'm not even angry at them for doing it. I'm not even angry at them for wanting to see it because they're the ones getting the short end of the stick. The people that have spent 4 years almost fighting for this are getting the short end of the stick because the parent company wants to make sure that they can get more subscribers domestically. I don't know. I'm frustrated for them. And so the piracy numbers are going to balloon like they did with Wonder Woman 84. And while Wonder Woman did okay overseas, it still didn't pull in as much. And the piracy numbers were off the chart. I talked about that a couple weeks ago. So this is what you're looking at here. And HBO Max, like Warner Media, Jason, like they're all aware of all of this. Like if anything, it's just me preaching to the choir. Like they're literally all aware of all of it. So none of that's going to change. I just find it to be like just a gigantic slap in the face that it can't be an international rollout across the board. Wait till the end of 2020. We'll put on the 4-year anniversary of the movie's release. Fans waited this long. You can wait another 6 months. I'm just saying. It's like, I'm not in a rush to see the movie. I'll see it when it comes out because I've waited this long. But I don't like the fact that region blocking and what I can only assume is like, you know, I'm going to say it is greed from the parent company by putting, you know, Snyder Cut and Godzilla v Kong back to back like that. They're trying to brute force the numbers, and it could backfire. It could really backfire because of those people who get HBO Max for the Snyder Cut will watch it, and then they might not go back to it. They may not. And I'll be honest with you guys. The last time I watched anything on HBO Max was Wonder Woman 84. They have not put enough original content on there yet that would get me to go over there to watch more stuff with my kids. It is not part of my repertoire. I've had it since the service's release. I had to wait all that time to get it on the Roku. And they haven't had anything there in recent memory that has been big enough to get me to go over and watch it. And that's me. And if you're wondering why, those 20 million people who have not upgraded their account from HBO to HBO Now or HBO Max, it's probably because of the same exact situation. It is probably because of that. Well, what do I watch on HBO? Well, you got Real Time with Bill Maher, Last Week Tonight with John Oliver, Insecure. What's the other one with the Zendaya? Euphoria, right? You've got a bunch of those shows, and those shows, guess what? They all play on HBO and HBO Max. Now we're finally getting into the content that's going to be exclusive. But my question then becomes, is it too little too late? Are people going to not then feel the need to jump over? I'm just asking questions here. So there's definitely that. Garrick here asks the question, is HBO Max doomed? It's not doomed. It's not doomed, but the first real exclusive thing that was going to be announced for HBO Max, it was the Snyder Cut. That was the big push. That was the big reveal. That was the big announcement. And they haven't, you know, and it's not going to be a worldwide thing right off the bat. And I just think that, like, to me, that's frustrating. As a fan, that's frustrating. Nair Duell here says, I know people who are just sharing a family, HBO Max, so there's 3 households at least not buying. Yeah, maybe. You know, I mean, I have just mine. Batman Superman here says people will use VPNs. Well, yeah, I mean, that's it. Maybe. I did that for, what was it? The series finale of the Clone Wars, because it somehow got released early in New Zealand. And I just logged into a New Zealand VPN. Or I, logged into a VPN and said I was from New Zealand and went and I watched it. And that got me in a lot of trouble. Holy shit. I got yelled at by a lot of people when I posted my review of it like 8 hours early. But that was a legal way of viewing it. I didn't pirate it. I didn't torrent it. And it was made available in a country where I could get access to go and watch it. So I did. And I understand that. But not everyone is going to understand VPNs. And not everyone is going to be able to hook a VPN into a TV. People who watch their movies at their computer could watch on a VPN. People who watch their movies on their phone could watch on a VPN. But unless you have a computer hooked directly into your television or a laptop hooked directly into your television with the HDMI connector, you're not going to be able to get a VPN to work on your TV. So if you're not going to be able to get a VPN to work on your TV, that entire argument becomes absolutely moot. You are literally blocked by technology. Now, if you download it, you can make that work. But again, it's like, and the thing is, the company already knows all this stuff, right? The company already knows everything. I mean, even Rasha here says VPNs don't work from our end anymore. It requires an American credit card, PayPal. New Zealand also blocks your credit card for VPN. I used it honestly with a free VPN when I did that for the Clone Wars. So, I mean, there's websites you can use. But again, watching it on your TV, watching a 4-hour-long movie, a one shot is not, you know what I mean? Like, you're going to want to watch it on your couch. You're going to want to watch it in the comfort of your couch with your big screen TV, with your good sound system, and not huddled over a computer screen with a pair of headphones on telling everyone to shut the fuck up because Batman is talking. Bell Rev Mendez here asks, what's a VPN? It stands for a virtual private network. It's like a proxy, right? So let's say I want to access something, I'll give you a terrible example, but it works. Like in America, like if I want to go to the New York Times or the Wall Street Journal and read an article, sometimes they're locked behind a paywall. So I go to a website that allows me to log in through a proxy, not in this country, and I go to the same article and it's unlocked. So I can read an article that is otherwise restricted to me by just going to pretending that I'm from another country, using it as a backdoor in. That's basically about it. They're not illegal. VPNs are not illegal. They're everywhere. I mean, hell, there's so many of them that sponsor YouTube content. So let's see here. Okay, Izzy here says you can get a VPN to work on the TV by using a Wi-Fi modem or Wi-Fi router that you can put the VPN in. Oh, okay, but how many people do you think are going to watch this that are going to be that tech savvy? Like, I am not a tech boomer, and even I would be like, how the fuck do you do that? You know, are people going to, you got to be thinking, are people going to be, and I mean colloquial, I mean like the wider amount of people here is what I'm talking about. But are those people going to be the ones that are going to be able to dive into that one? So let's see here. Hot Dog Media says Snyder Cut is worthy of a big screen. I agree. I absolutely agree. It's too much hassle. Everything is too much hassle. The reason why we have streaming services is that they're convenient. The convenience factor is why they're there. It's like that argument. Why do I need to go to the movies? I can just sit at home and watch it on my 58-inch flat screen, which is a good, valid argument. Why do I got to go deal with them kids on their phones and their TikToks and their popcorns and their chitlins and all that shit, right? Everything. You know, I mean, a lot of people now complain about the theater going experience because of how lax it's gotten in regards to respect of other people. So the convenience of Netflix, Disney Plus, Amazon, Hulu, HBO Max, HBO Go, HBO Now. Well, maybe not HBO Now anymore. You know, and that was another problem with HBO too. They had too many brackets, too many areas of entry. It just screws the whole thing up. So yeah, it becomes, you're talking about convenience. This whole thing has to be about convenience. So, okay, Batman Superman here says, why doesn't someone just record it in HD in America and then send it to us in the UK? Dude, that's what piracy is. Within hours of Wonder Woman 84 dropping on HBO Max in 4K UHD, there were 4K UHD copies of the film already available to download. People were getting it in the highest possible quality without having to pay for it within literal hours. And I mean, like, you know, those guys are good at what they do and they will do it quick. And again, look, Warner, they're all aware of this. All the studios are aware of this. It's nothing new. It's nothing that they haven't seen before. Anyway, Maria Judith here says, I'm guessing the small screen or TV series productions are going to become the new film productions. Well, yeah. I mean, if you watch WandaVision, last night for episode 4, they basically brought it back into full MCU mode and it looked wonderful. And a lot of people freaked out when it went into that mode. So yeah, they're going to be bringing these full-scale large productions to the television. So anyway, I am hoping that we get a trailer here pretty soon I am hoping that we get, I think I saw someone make a comment asking if it was going to be during the Super Bowl. I do think so. A lot of movies are skipping the Super Bowl this year. So there's that. All right. Snyder, a resident justice here says, Snyder Cut will have such big piracy, it will actively detract from its success. People forget how big the Snyder Cut fandom is overseas in markets like the UK and South America. Yeah, and they're getting screwed. So, Toronto Freddy here says, I'll rent it if it's available. I figure if I pay to rent WW84 on YouTube, the Snyder Cut will be available on there as well. Maybe. And I'm sure as we get closer to its release, they might realize how ham-fisted of an approach this has been, how terrible and exclusionary of an approach this is, and then start to open it up in other regions for a pay to rent, which is going to be good. It will help out. It will slow down on piracy a little bit. Geek Studios ask, is the Snyder Cut coming out on Blu-ray and 4K? There was something floating around where they did have the Snyder Cut and BVS in 4K, new 4Ks. Zack is working on an IMAX restoration of BVS. And I'm pretty sure they're also doing the very same thing for Justice League. And I think he's made comments about Man of Steel. So he's clearly back in the world of restoring these properties in a way that he likes, which is that 4:3 aspect, which is, I think, the way he shoots all of his movies. I would love to see a restored version of Watchmen. I don't know how much better it can get, but you know what? Wow me, Zack, because he generally tends to do that. Give me 300. Give me an updated version of fucking Sucker Punch, because I know that's been come up quite a bit. So anyway, all right. So Bell here says Kong versus Godzilla already came out. It got. Oh, you mean the trailer came out? Yeah, the trailer came out already. We need a Snyder Cut trailer. We do. So there's a lot there. Okay, Nick Rayer here says licensing agreements with other companies, providers, and streaming companies. Like I said, in Canada, we don't have HBO Max, so we don't know what platform is going to come here on in Canada. That's if it's going to. That's if we're going to. Garrick here says, Matt watched Kong Skull Island. You know, I own the Blu-ray. I own it on Blu-ray. I just haven't watched it yet. I bought it back in 2017. I just haven't opened it up and watched it yet, but I'll probably watch it on HBO Max. Watchmen does have a 4K Blu-ray release. Oh, it does? Yeah, no. But Zack is going back and he's like remastering. You know, he's going back and he's remastering these movies. So, give it to me in 4:3. I'd watch it. Fuck it. All right. So, okay, guys, I just wanted to make this one real quick. Talk about this whole situation. I know I mentioned Cloverfield 2. Apparently, Cloverfield 2 has now been announced. They have a writer. It's not going to be a point of view found footage, which is okay with me. But at the same time, it might be a bit jarring, like how, Blair Witch Project is point of view found footage, and then Blair Witch Project 2 wasn't, and it was terrible, and no one liked it when it came out 21 years ago. So there's that to consider. I personally am excited. I love Cloverfield. I saw that movie more times than I care to count inside theaters. I worked at a theater. We had it playing quite often. I also went to other better theaters to go see it 3 times. And I would just love to see that movie remastered for IMAX because I very much love Cloverfield. So Cloverfield 2, big announcement. But the big one of the day, obviously, was Justice League. And so Gary here says, yeah, we don't talk about Blair Witch to the Book of Shadows. 100%. We don't talk about that. But all right, guys, I agree with Geek here. Smash that like button. Again, I just want to go quick for some of these things. Just talk about this stuff, talk to you guys. Would love to do more of these kind of midday streams and stuff like that. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys all later. Have yourself a fantastic day. Get ready for the Snyder Cut. At least we get to see it. And peace the hell out.